for our DBs. We didn't do anything back there. Travarius
Ward
Ward last year, he
Ward
started
has
step.
been so disappointing. Even he's worse than he was last year.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now he is. I do think he's still. I mean, they don't talk about this at all, but I remember during the off season he was dealing with like a heel injury,
Yep.
and so he might be like playing through something like that. But even last year, before the heel injury, he just doesn't have the speed to keep up with a lot of the number one wide receivers. I think he's like a really good like 1B, but he's
He's
not
not a
like a
shutdown
top
corner.
corner. Yeah.
He's not a shutdown corner. I mean, you look at these past games, they're going after Ward before they're going after Diamond or Lenore.
Mhm.
They're respecting, they're putting some respect on Lenore, and and they're just picking apart Oliver and Ward. They're going after him,
Do you
and
think that they opened up the practice window for Samuel Wolmack, and he has to practice for 3 weeks before they're allowed to activate him. But do you think that they might try to get creative and start adding him in instead of Oliver in some of these positions,
I
or
think
no?
if I was them, I would.
He had such
All,
a knack for the ball.
yeah,
Like when he was playing, he
Oliver's
was like even
good.
on special teams, he was creating havoc. But yeah,
Oliver, I
sorry.
like Oliver in coverage when when you got a big tight end that's got good hands. Kelsey, you know, Goddard for the Eagles. He just got hurt, unfortunately. Hope he
Yeah, I
heals
saw
up.
that.
But um, I feel like he would be good for those big tight ends. But when you get a littler, shiftier guy out in the slot or something like that, he just gets beat. He gets beat. He's great at Oliver's great at the run defense. He does really well there. Womack, I think
I
Womack will
think that
help
was
us.
Womack's problem too. I remember when they first benched Womack, Richard Sherman came out on his podcast and said it was because he was struggling against the run, which
Yeah,
is ironic because now the entire team is struggling against the run. But
right. And Womack's a littler guy, so I can kind of understand that. But he's so fast and so speedy, and Grant Cohn made a great point. He's always there. He's always there. He's just got to whatever that little technique is that will get him to defend the ball and not allow the receiver to catch it. But he's always there and on top of him. But even just having a defender there, that makes a quarterback possibly go past that read and move on to his next. Go through his
yeah,
progressions.
definitely.
So I hope I would like to see what Luter does. The rookie, I'd like to see what he
He has
does.
promise, but I don't know if they'll. I don't. I think he has promise maybe for next year, but I feel like fifth round rookie. I just feel like Kyle Shanahan isn't going to trust him to start him like mid season.
Oh, you're one hundred
Maybe I'm
percent
wrong.
right. No,
I mean,
you're
I
you're
think
one
they'd
hundred
activate
percent
him.
right.
Like if there was like an injury or something, I feel like if it's like him or Ambry Thomas, I feel like we've done the Ambry Thomas experiment. We don't need to keep trying. My heart goes out to him. Seems like a good guy, but we need to stop with that.
All right.
We need to
Ambry
be we
Thomas,
need to be
I
over that
really
one.
had high hopes for him. I really, really did. I liked his speed. I liked his length. I liked
Yeah,
his
he
shiftiness, his
was
ball
one of those.
awareness, but he just gets burned. They just pick him
Yeah,
apart, poor guy.
he was one of those like how we're talking about Samuel Womack right now, where I feel like his rookie year, not he didn't always make the play, but he was like always like almost there. Like he
Yep.
was always in position and just like one hand away. And you kind of hoped with an off season, like I thought going into his second year, yeah, his sophomore year, I expected him to come back and kind of take that next step. And I was really surprised because he ended up getting benched, and then Diamond Lenore ended up being the guy who took that next step. Which their rookie years, Ambry Thomas was playing ahead of Lenore, kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
He's just a bitch warmer now, and I don't understand why Kyle keeps, if you're done with the guy, be done with him, move on with him. Just like Ty Davis Price. I don't even haven't even seen him play enough to even have an opinion on the guy, and I'm just
They
like,
should just trade away every third round pick they ever have.
I mean,
Why do they do that?
they are horrible with it, but
It's so bad. I was mentioning him earlier, but there was an offensive lineman that the Browns picked up in the third round that they drafted after Jake Moody was drafted.
yes.
Like instead of drafting a running back that is never going to see the field, like not even activated, or instead of getting a kicker that can't make all his kicks, why are you not investing in your offensive line? It's so not like a sexy position, but it's one that the 49ers really struggle with. And if you look at other teams around the league, like the Chiefs or the Eagles, not to mention him again, Rick's going to be in my comments like, stop with the Eagles. I'm just kidding, Rick.
Easy on us,
But
Rick. Come on, easy.
but if you look at them, like it is important to invest in these positions that aren't as showing off. Like the Chiefs literally traded away Tyreek Hill, who's like potentially the best wide receiver in the league, so that they could invest more in the trenches because they knew, I mean, they do have, to be fair, they have like a quarterback. So I do think that the 49ers have to invest more in the skill position since they don't have like a star. I think if you don't have a star quarterback that can make plays, it is important to surround him with good guys. But you also need to be able to protect him so he can throw the ball, because if he's not, then we see what's happening